Hi class. So today we're going to learn how to write a magazine proposal. We're going to learn how to use some persuasive techniques and we're going to go through some examples. So before we dive in, I always like to go through and say why we're doing a certain assignment. So why are we doing this? Well, we're doing this because our class is making an online magazine that showcases the best of the best. You brainstormed the 3 topics in our discussion the other day, and now you need to choose one topic to be the expert on. So my topic for our examples today is going to be sunflowers and why they are the best flowers ever. Before you get started with your own proposal and before I show you some examples, you need to know some good persuasive techniques. Being in 5th grade, you already have a lot of really awesome persuasive techniques because it's kind of in your personality at this age. But one thing I want to share with you is using your mind. If you can bring facts to your proposal, then your reader is more inclined to believe that your topic is the best of the best. So bringing facts and research into your proposal might help them with that. You could also use your heart, so appealing to the emotions of your reader. If you think that golden retrievers are the best of the best, you could talk about how cute they are, and people would believe that they're the best dog ever because you're telling us how cute they are and it makes our hearts melt. You need to know your audience. So you are writing this to your 5th grade teacher and your 5th grade classmates and other 5th grade classrooms around the county. So make sure that you know your audience. If your topic is too specific and not a lot of people are going to understand it, you might need to choose a new topic. And last, make sure that you use correct grammar and mechanics. Your reader will have a speed bump in their head, so to speak, whenever they're reading your proposal, if you misspell things or don't capitalize the right words and things like that. So those are my persuasive techniques that I'm going to use for our examples today. Before I show you examples, I want to tell you the truth about a persuasive introduction. So here are the things that we're looking for. We're looking for it to be about 2 to 3 sentences long. A persuasive introduction doesn't need to be longer than that. Otherwise, you might give a little bit too much detail and it might not sound as awesome. Your persuasive introduction needs a good hook and details that let the reader know what you're writing about. So as a throwback, we talked about hook writing whenever we talked about our descriptive writing a few months ago. And you could use a question as a hook, a fact, a statement, an anecdote, and I'll put this in our module to remind us what a good hook sounds like. The last thing, this is my biggest pet peeve ever, your introduction does not need to sound like a Billy Mays infomercial. And if you need me to remind you what that sounds like, I will post a video of that again today. So we're not going to sound like this guy in our introductions, y'all. So I want you to think if this is a good example or a bad example. Hi, my name is Miss Sullivan, and today I'm going to tell you about sunflowers. They are super colorful, big, and look pretty in fields during the summer. They are also neat in a vase at home. I really want to write about them. Well, bye! So is that a good introduction or a bad introduction? I'm going to give you a moment to think about that. Hopefully you already know the answer. If you are thinking that this is a bad introduction, you are correct. But on the next slide, let's talk about why it's a bad introduction for the reader. Okay, so there's a lot of material here. So we have the word colorful. So that's misspelled, and that's not how that's spelled. There's a capital letter right here whenever there doesn't need to be with the word look. There's 3 M's in summer, and they missed a period right there before the sentence. So this is just one really big run-on sentence. And then at the end, they signed off like they were on a YouTube video or, Billy Mays 2.0. So we are not going to sound like Billy Mays, and we're going to make sure that we use correct spelling, grammar, and mechanics. And another thing to add is that there's more than 3 sentences, which makes it sound kind of heavy, and there's just too much talking at the beginning. At the beginning of your introduction, it should be short, sweet, to the point, 2 to 3 sentences at most. So let's look at this example. Be thinking, is this a good example or a bad example? Did you know sunflowers face toward the sun throughout the day? Sunflowers are the best flowers due to their symbolic positivity, beautiful appearance, and many uses in everyday life. So think about that. Was that a good introduction or a bad introduction? If you are thinking that it was a good introduction, you are correct. Let's talk about why it was a good introduction. Okay, so the first sentence is, did you know sunflowers face toward the sun throughout the day? That is an excellent example of a hook, everybody. So this is a question hook, and it also uses facts. So did you know sunflowers face toward the sun throughout the day? If I were a reader that didn't know that about sunflowers, I might be more intrigued to read about sunflowers. I'm hooked, and I want to read more. The second thing that I've highlighted is sunflowers are the best flowers due to their symbolic positivity, beautiful appearance, and many uses in everyday life. So we have some details right there. And on top of that, it is only 2 sentences. So short, sweet, to the point. I could have added one more sentence if I wanted to, but I don't introduce myself as the writer, which is a terrible way to introduce your paper. We do not want to sound like Billy Mays. And short, sweet, to the point. So that was an example of a good introduction. So your job today, after looking at this video and following along, you are writing your own proposal for your own topic using a hook and details. You shouldn't be writing the same thing that I'm writing because that would be copying and plagiarism. But you can go back and refer to our discussion the other day and choose one of the topics out of the 3 that you brainstormed. And if you need anything, you are more than welcome to get in contact with me. Good luck. You guys are going to do awesome.